And now we move on to day 3. I have to say I was actually more surprised that I actually liked the AT-AT driver in person, although it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea since it does not have a vehicle to go alongside of it. And I think it would be kind of ridiculous to see a 6-inch scale AT-AT in the first place because it would just be way too expensive. We'll now move on to day 3 with Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Ben Kenobi. Hello YouTube, we're now moving on to day 3 of my 6-inch Black Series figure reviews for Wave 3, and that is Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Ben Kenobi as he's known, in his older age. Anyway, so we'll take a look at the box. The box is pretty good likeness of Sir Alec Guinness on the design here. Shows that it is number 32, and it has the bio as normal on the back. Otherwise, the figure itself also has a pretty decent likeness of Sir Alec Guinness, and I think Hasbro did a pretty good job, especially in this larger scale figure. The 4-inch actually looked pretty decent with the 2, but the 6-inch definitely makes it look a lot better than what we've seen with the 3 3/4 inch. Articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, as normal, with good range of movement. Nothing gets hindered, and that's good. He does the same articulation in the shoulders, but the Jedi cloak does get in the way since it does do that twirling problem again, but it does have good range of movement outwards. He has a single joint at the elbow, and although a lot of the other soft good characters had double joints, since it isn't a full-on soft goods design over the figure, I think that's why they went ahead and just put a single joint. I still don't understand Hasbro's decision on there. Anyways, he does have fully jointed wrists with good range of movement. And he does actually have a full waist joint, and it's a little bit of a ratchet sound, which is nice, and it can look up. However, it does look kind of weird since it does have a little gap when you move it a little bit too far. He has decent movement in the hips, and the slits of the actual bottom part of his suit allows him to move it outwards, although this side seems to be a lot tighter than this one for some reason. He does have swivels at the thighs, but it's kind of hard to see there, so we're just going to move it up a bit. And he does have double joints at the knees, fully jointed ankles, and this is actually made of a softer material, so you can actually put him into sitting position, although it does kind of break up because the back piece doesn't exactly follow with it when you move it. So that's pretty much it for the figure on its own. He does have a lightsaber, which can be holstered here, and it's actually one of the better lightsaber holsters I've seen, since it actually seems to be the good enough size on the actual clip to hold on to, so that's nice. You can place it in his hand, and right now, it actually is unlit, since this figure is another figure that can have the blade removed. Anyways, we'll be back to attach the blade to take a better look at it. Now I got the blade fully attached. Now the reason why I actually attached it off screen is, for some reason, the blade itself on my copy has a little bit of a stress mark when I removed it the first time. And it seems like this one is a lot more flimsy than some of the other blades I've seen with the 6-inch attachments. Although it could be just mine, bear with that since it could be a problem down the line if you happen to get this figure. Anyways, we'll take a look at the blade more closely. It does actually look nice with it attached onto the lightsaber handle, and he can carry it with 2 hands, since he does have the articulation in order to do that, so that's nice. And if you wanted to, you can actually pose it alongside the 6-inch Darth Vader, which I'm actually going to get the new version coming out, since the original one isn't the best sculpt, but it'll do nicely here. You can actually make them go into the fighting poses like you've seen in A New Hope. So that's cool to actually have both figures in hand, especially if you wanted to make a really nice display with the 6-inch figures. The figure actually can remove the cloak, and I think that's one of the best parts about this, since a lot of the 6-inch figures just did not have a cloak, and so far I think this is the only cloak in the standard Jedi design we've ever seen. So to remove it, it's kind of hard to do. Basically what you're going to do is do what you probably do when you actually take up a jacket in real life, and just pull after you put him into this position, although it's a little bit tight and it is hard to get on. Sorry, off. It is a little hard to get on too, but it looks okay otherwise. And underneath, it actually has a fully sculpted design. So Hasbro did a really nice job with the details in the overall figure, even if you didn't want to keep the cloak on. And this cloak might actually work with some of the other Jedi figures we've got it in the 6-inch line. So overall, I think Hasbro did a fantastic job in their overall design for old Obi-Wan, and it's okay, even though it took so long to get released. It definitely was worth it, in my opinion. Now move on to day 4 of Wave 3. Anyways, please comment, subscribe, and check out Hero Club and Hirotaku. Also check out Twitter to Darkon633, and don't forget to check the bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see the latest of my content. And don't forget to also check down the other channels down below. I'll be back with the next review, but for now, I'll be seeing you YouTube. Bye.